You've got mail.
Hi, I just want to say thank you for taking time out of your busy day to watch my video, 4 elite tactics to overclock your IT company's marketing on the tubes. Now, for a quick second, before we dive into this information, I want to let you know just a little bit about myself. My name is Ryan Colby, and I've actually spent a number of years working in IT. I worked for some internal IT departments at some various companies, and I've also worked as a third-party external IT consultant and IT technician. So I obviously speak the lingo. And at the same time, I also understand the daily frustrations of the average computer user and the average business person and business owner as it relates to technology, and also the daily frustrations of a technical business owner or a networking or computer networking technician or a help desk person or anybody who works in that sort of field. I understand the daily frustrations because I've been in their shoes before, many times. And so what I'm doing is I bridge the gap between these two groups, between the IT folk and the technical folk and the non-technical folk through strategic marketing. And one thing I think that's really important to understand is a lot of the times in technology or in IT, people think that they know Facebook or they know internet marketing because they understand the technology behind it. They understand how it's possible that an email can be sent from Florida to the Philippines in a matter of seconds, or what programming languages Facebook is written in. But there's a lot more to it, obviously. You have to understand the strategic marketing that goes on top of those things to make it all work. So speaking of strategic marketing, let's get into these 4 and 5 tactics. And so the first one is communication is key. And as you probably know, within the IT realm and the technical realm, there is a stigma that most tech companies don't provide the greatest customer service always, and also that tech people don't really talk like humans. They're not really people, or they're not really social people all the time. They're very introverted, and they like to speak. A lot of them, they like to speak with a lot of technical jargon that the average person won't understand. And honestly, every once in a while I come across tech people who seem to have these huge chips on their shoulders. And I just think that's the nature of the job after a while. But you see that too. So the important thing to remember with the strategic marketing online, whether it be social media, usually social media, or email marketing or mobile marketing and blogging and whatnot, is that you use it to show that your tech people are people, and that there's someone that you would not only want to have fix your computer, but that you'd want to go have a drink with at the bar or go to a movie with. You can actually have fun with them. They're actually normal. And some of that can be done through, or a lot of it can be done through, consistent online video and blog posts. I say consistent because I'll find blogs on a lot of tech companies that haven't been updated in weeks, if not months. They don't stay consistent and stay consistently in front of their customers with this information. So online video and blog post, and getting your employees involved. It's not just about you, the business owner, or whichever level you're at in your company, but getting the employees involved, because they're the ones, the technicians and the programmers, they're the ones that directly talk and interface with all the time with the customers. So it's important that you get them involved, and it can be fun too. It can build morale within the business. But the important thing is that you're creating videos where you're educating and you're enlightening and you're engaging and you're making it fun. And so yeah, that's number 1. Number 2 is, I say, in IT, you work in a high friction possible environment. And what I mean by that is that pretty much on a daily basis, you're putting out some kind of fires. Now, it could either be a small brush fire or it could be a forest fire. Hopefully there aren't too many forest fires going on. But you are always, a lot of the times you're being contacted during high stressful situations. It could be that someone calls in and needs to have a PowerPoint presentation. They need to tweak through things. They have a presentation in 10 minutes and PowerPoint won't open for some reason. Now, to that person at the time, that's extremely mission critical for them and it needs to be fixed now. And those situations happen on a daily basis, which is why it's a high stressful situation. So what's really important here is that you want as much as possible put a face and a personality and even say a person behind a name or a voice, because you could be a help desk person where you're talking to someone on the phone all the time, and it's a lot easier for either side to sort of have a negative outlook on the person, or to not speak as nicely on the phone as they might, or they should, or just being kind of rude because they haven't seen each other face to face. And that may not always be possible to actually have face to face interaction, but if you're posting things online, like if you're posting videos where that employee is being seen on video once in a while and that person who's calling them sees them, all of a sudden as they watch those videos, they feel like they're getting to know the person better. It's just the power of video. At the same time, you could do things where maybe a help desk person is helping someone, and strategically, if things aren't going that well, they could say, hey, do you have a Google Plus account? Well, yeah, or even Facebook. Yeah, let's get on there and let's, have a quick video chat. And face-to-face, people are generally going to be a lot nicer to each other than if they're just over the phone. Now, the power of this is that everyone obviously stays calmer. It's a better situation. Customers aren't getting as angry about your business, which means they're probably not going to say bad things to other people about your business, and they may actually say good things, which is obviously what you want. Number 3, and I think this is a big one, is that you also work in a high-win environment. And what I mean by that is if you have a decent amount of clients, you're probably going to have at least one win every day. You're going to have a victory. You're going to fix someone's computer or an application problem or whatever, find emails that they lost, who knows. But whatever you do, you're going to have a victory for someone. And that's every day. And there's only so many industries that can actually say that. You want to make sure you're leveraging them as social proof. And when I say social proof, I'm saying that because social proof is probably the most powerful tool that you can use for marketing. That's why infomercials are flooded with testimonials, because it's a form of powerful social proof. And the more of those you can have, and the more those, the better, because the more variety you have, the more you're going to find a testimonial that's going to resonate with someone else. But a lot of people forget to. It's not very often that someone is going to, on their own, say something nice about your business. It does happen occasionally, but people are so busy and it just becomes a part of the day. They'll thank you and they really do appreciate it, but when they have kids' soccer practice and dinner to make and a second job and who knows what else, they just forget. So you need to make sure that you're enticing them to do that, maybe through, small gifts, or just, a lot of the times it might even be just asking. And a couple of ways you could do that would be, after a good service is performed, you're sending out an email that would probably have, maybe a questionnaire about how the service was. But at the same time, you're giving them a button that says, hey, click right here and recommend us on Facebook, and the recommendation will show up on your place. Or, hey, click here and, send out a tweet for us or do something. It's really important that you're doing that. Or, hey, fill out this testimonial and allow us to use this on our blog or our website. You need a system in place that's catching this stuff, and a lot of people are missing the boat on this. I go to a lot of websites for tech companies, and I see maybe no testimonials, or they'll have 4 or 5, but they should have a lot more than that. If you can flood a page with hundreds of testimonials, which you have the possibility here to do that, and it's an instant sell when someone sees something like that. And the second option would be is you could use a QR code as part of that. They could scan it with their phone, wherever you may put the QR code and have them scan that. Number 4, lead generation. Obviously, that's something that's done by a lot of people online. But what I'm saying is you can do things like this video and the squeeze page where you put in your email address to get to this video. This is the type of stuff that you do where you're showcasing your knowledge, extracting it from your head, making it relevant to the people you're talking to, and positioning yourself as an expert. And the reason I say that is because when it comes down to it, prospecting sucks. It's not fun. I would much rather do positioning, where you're positioning yourself as an expert. You're putting an automated system in place, or mostly automated, where you're putting an ad out, you're getting someone to come to you, check out free information, and building rapport with them. I'm being completely transparent. That's exactly what I'm doing with you right now. And whether you take it or not, I'm hoping I'm still giving you some value out of this, and you're going to remember what I've said to you. But beating the pavement in prospecting it's not fun. I would much rather do positioning, and you can be a lot more creative with it too. So that's that, and then I have a bonus, more of a concept, number 5, and it's to remember that computers resonate with all of us, or almost all of us, really anyone in the modern world, and heck, people in second and third world countries are starting to get computers, and depending on where they live. And it's important to remember that our lives in the modern world are on the computer. We all have stories about the computer. A lot of the times they're probably going to be bad stories about how, there was an issue with the computer. That's usually the story, but still, people can share those stories, and you can build a sense of community, and they always have something to say. Our lives are on our computer, and our banking's on there, our schoolwork, our pictures of our wedding and our kids being born, paperwork for work, all a lot of important things. And I've witnessed many people cry over it, and I've witnessed many people jump over joy when you fix a problem. And they're crying and jumping over joy over a brick of plastic and metal, but it's what that represents and what it does for them. And at the same time, it provides in a lot of ways their connection to the outside world. And I think it really gets really sort of weird and psychological with that, but it's true. And the important thing to remember is how powerful it could be if you position yourself as the expert to be the person who's keeping this stuff going for the people who find you, who are connected to either your customers or people in your sales funnel or people that just find you on the, find you on the internet. If you position yourself as the expert, as the person that can bring this to them, it's extremely powerful, and they're going to be dedicated and loyal clients. So those are the 5 tactics and mindset tricks. Now, if you're interested and you would like to take some of this information and apply it to your own business, then I recommend that you get our free digital marketing audit for IT companies. What we do is we take information like this and other tactics and other information, and we do a complete audit of your digital online presence, and we put together action-oriented recommendations that you can then apply immediately to your marketing. So if you're interested, please click on the button below, submit your information, and we'll get back to you within 1 business day. Thanks, and make it a great day.
Goodbye.